welcome back once again to the Retrocade podcast, episode 41. I think it's 41, Sean.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's Phil and Sean here, where this is a very special episode.
Special and delayed.
Special and delayed. I know, we're really a month behind here, and this is really going to be the Rise of Skywalker review, the big final episode 9. Unbelievable.
The end of an era, if you will.
The whole internet's talking about it.
They were talking about it, but
they were talking about it. They'll be talking about it for years to come. And wow, I should have recent news about it, like news as of today. Yeah, they were saying so it's gonna shed the billion mark, but yeah, it hasn't.
Other movies like Aladdin, for example, are gonna make more money. And can you believe the words I'm saying? Aladdin. Captain Marvel, crappy ass movies.
We could talk about this ad nauseum. We could talk about this for hours. I mean, we're gonna try to keep this short and sweet and to the point, and not go overboard. But yeah, money-wise, it hasn't hit $1 billion yet, and the movie's almost been out a month. 4 more days and it'll be out a month. It's the 15th. We're recording. It came out on December 19th or December 20th. It's almost, and it hasn't hit the $1 billion internationally yet. I think it's at 900 and something million. And but really one of the biggest things is China. It was a tremendous flop in China. But you know what?
It's funny how the Chinese market's so interesting, because Venom was a shit movie and the Chinese loved it. They ate up Venom like it was hotcakes.
They eat the Transformers movies like they're Citizen Kane. It's insane.
More CGI, please.
The more CGI, the better, which was what the prequels, or at least Force Awakens, was trying to get away from. They wanted to do, back to practical effects, in-camera work. We prefer all the Muppets. Yeah, me and you prefer the Muppets. But is some of that our nostalgia for the Muppets?
It's believable.
Right.
I think when the Muppets were big was when we were adolescents. We were,
when you
children.
say that word Muppet, you know what comes to mind for me. It's like all the puppets in Jabba's palace and stuff.
Exactly. But then you're looking at old Sesame Street. You're looking at Kermit the Frog. Now it's like the heyday of Muppets. Jim
Henson was all about it. Frank Oz, of course. Voice of Yoda, creator of Yoda.
That's why
Stuart Freeborn.
I really enjoyed the Netflix Dark Crystal series.
I didn't watch it. Yeah.
It was all puppets, animatronic. I thought it was great.
It kind of has to be. Yeah, to keep up. Imagine making a Dark Crystals with all CGI.
The Chinese market.
Yeah,
that's why I made the Joker so astounding. Was China banned the film.
Right, it's too offensive for their
the Chinese, Taiwan, and all these.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
You have all these repressed people that want to snap out.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
So the Joker
there.
would be like, "Oh, he did that.
Let's all do that." Yeah, exactly.
Fuck you.
I mean,
I'll say Tongan.
They banned movies like Candy out there. They banned the Ghostbusters because the movie 2016 because of witchcraft, and because you can't depict ghosts in the movies, even though there's Force ghosts in Star Wars. So I don't know how that works out.
Why? Because the Emperor's gonna get caught in the fucking trap. The Chinese emperors.
I was like, Emperor Palpatine's gonna caught in the trap. Well, he kind of did. Spoiler alert. But I mean, we're gonna go into full spoiler review if you haven't seen the movie yet.
Honestly, and if you're gonna see Star Wars, you're gonna see in the first week. Yeah. There's not the casual Star Wars viewer like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sit 3.5 hours and see it.
Yeah. Anybody who's waited this long, like I did see a few fans, like quote unquote Star Wars fans. Obviously not like any diehards saw it first weekend. Serious diehards saw it.
And we maintained our tradition of
we did
day one showings.
Yeah. We've done it pretty for all of them of these newer ones.
Solo we saw opening weekend.
Yeah, Solo we saw opening weekend.
And that wasn't really part of the.
No, exactly. We saw Rogue One night of, right?
I think we did.
Yeah, we saw it night of, and then all the other ones we saw night of too. Force Awakens, Rise of, Last Jedi, and the Rise of Skywalker. So we saw them at a different theater. We saw this one at the Atrium on Staten Island, but that's where we saw Revenge of the Sith.
I remember that.
It's also where I saw Attack of the Clones.
Well, the first Star Wars movie I saw with you was Phantom Menace, and that was Michael Bennett's birthday party.
And that's 1999, and that was on Highland Boulevard in Staten Island at the Highland Plaza.
20 years ago, if you think about it.
Yeah, it's going on 21. The 20th
nuts.
anniversary was last May for that movie. We should have did a commentary for it.
That's insane.
We should still do a commentary for the 21st.
Our friend that birthday we went to's last update I heard of him was living in Japan.
Yeah, I think he's still living in Japan.
I believe he's still there.
I was just near his house the other day because I ate
Providence.
Providence Street or Avenue.
Old Town, yeah.
In Old Town, Staten Island.
I'm sure his parents still live there, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I ate at Royal Crown, which is right there.
It's up down the block.
It's up the block, so I was right over there. But
that's a great spot, Royal Crown.
Great spot.
You don't get a better sandwich.
You don't get a better sandwich. I know it's one of the best bakery kind of
monster cookies and stuff too.
I didn't realize that they separated. It's the bakery at the left, and then sandwiches and meals on the right. I don't know if you've been there in a while.
I haven't been there in about a
two
year
parts.
or two.
I went there last year.
But
and
I remember it.
Like
I
that.
remember it being separate.
Yeah, or it's definitely separate. Because last time I was there,
like the weekends, they'll do a lot of in the morning they'll do a lot of bakery business.
Dude, when I was there till 11 p.m. almost, and there was a line out the door for pastries at 11 p.m. It made no sense.
Really?
Like grown men, like
pastry.
it was a line.
Probably the Mikey types. Like, let me get some.
Yeah, a bunch of like 40-year-old plus men like getting their
and they're hanging out drinking coffee.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I ended up getting. Yeah, I got the.
Let me guess, they're of the Italian persuasion.
Yeah, I mean mostly, but ribeye. I got the ribeye steak sandwich with the caramelized onions and a mozzarella.
Their mozzarella is tremendous.
Yeah, it's very fresh.
It's the freshest it gets.
And then like as we're walking out,
what'd you pay about $12-15 for a sandwich?
15. Yeah, 15 plus.
If you get cold cuts, it's like 12ish.
Yeah, no, it's cheaper with cold cuts. This is a more expensive one of their sandwiches. Even the chicken cutlet sandwich.
Even their pizza's underrated. The pizza's good.
The pizza's flying out the door.
It was like square, right?
I didn't see it. I just seen
I think they only do square. I think
pizza boxes were flying out the door.
I think they do square.
Yeah. I mean, this has nothing to do with the Rise of Skywalker, but it's all
Staten Island tangents.
Staten Island tangents. It's very related. But yeah, there was pizzas flying off the shelf. And as we left, I ended up going back into the bakery and getting an Italian cheesecake slice. And that was when the line started flying out the door.
You didn't tell your father you were there. You would have been like, oh, listen,
no,
get this, get that.
Yeah, get a friggin' cookie platter, get hot gabagool. But
Dad, it's midnight. No, that's all right.
It was literally close to midnight on a Saturday.
I'll eat it tomorrow. Yeah. But Dad, where is it? I came out to eat it.
Yeah, it's all gone. Yeah, but that was good. But the Rise of Skywalker, we saw it opening night. This is almost a month ago. I don't know why the fuck we waited.
Yeah, it was at least 3 weeks ago. Maybe pushing a month.
It's almost a month. Yeah, I was just saying. It's the 15th. The movie came out. We watched it on the 19th.
You know what? The funny thing was, I remember the episode, I guess 7, you would say. Mm-hmm. You're hyped.
Force Awakens.
It was a hype.
Yeah.
I remember going to the theater, everyone, there was a buzz.
Well, that was the big difference between this and 8 and 9. And it was like, because ramping up, the first new Star Wars movie since Revenge of the Sith.
We had the Hobra with your friend, what was his name?
Andrew Mazurwicki, the artist, who owes us artwork for this podcast.
Man, that's taking his sweet time, Mr. Picasso.
2 years. But yeah, no, we all saw it together. But I mean, listen, I had went to Celebration that April. I mean, just the hype, the expectation. It's because it was like, okay, Lucas is out of the way. Now we'll have...
It's the new Disney era.
Right. And it was like, because everybody was like, George Lucas, made mad mistakes during the prequels because it was just him and nobody. It was nothing around yes men. Now this time around, you have actual you have a good group. You had a good writer in Lawrence Kasdan and J.J. Abrams, a good action fantasy director in J.J. Abrams. Like you had, and then all this practice. They were talking about practical effects, and then it was all hype as the movie was coming out. Anthony Daniels was tweeting. He was like, "This very well may be the best of the series." And it was like, "What?" And
it was hype.
He wrote better than Empire. I mean, they were all at Celebration. Harrison
and it was
Ford
fresh. I thought Ray was a fresh face.
And then we came and saw the movie, and listen, I left it was like, it was really good. I mean,
I was hyped when I left. When I saw Luke and the remote planet, you were
excited to see what came next. And
then they just went down fucking hill.
You see, I think the cracks begin to show a little later. I think everybody left The Force Awakens very happy with that movie.
Absolutely.
And then the cracks
pleased. I think they had positive reviews.
Right. And obviously
the buzz
the
was
critic
back.
reviews.
The buzz was back.
But I think the cracks began to show a few months later when everybody was like, well, it's just a remake of A New Hope. Rey is a Mary Sue. And those were the biggest complaints that people had, and it's true. It's like, kind of a reboot of the first movie, and then people, it's for the younger generation to first experience the Star Wars hero's journey. It's like, okay, you're right. It's all fine with The Force Awakens. Now let's do something different in The Last Jedi, which they did, but it just wasn't satisfying to most people,
Let's do a 35-minute casino scene that has no relevance.
Way too long. I mean, I watched that movie. I watched them both right before we saw the Rise of Skywalker. And watching The Last Jedi again, I was like, it's not as bad as the internet is blasting it, but there's a lot of stuff in here that just doesn't needs to be here. I mean,
I watched it for about 45 minutes, and I'm like,
the theater?
No.
Oh,
before the movie. Let me get a little refresher,
And it's long too. It is not
40 minutes in, I was like, I can't anymore. Mm-hmm. It's just getting nauseating.
It's not a short movie at all. I mean, listen, we could talk about this new trilogy for hours, in the pitfalls. I literally made a huge list.
The gripe list?
Of the issues of every movie, yeah. I mean, I guess we could talk about, my Rise of Skywalker list. But, there's a lot of gripes because there's a lot of things that maybe. And I think the biggest thing that we could say about this trilogy is, or like, if there was one phrase to describe some of the things that happen, I could say that there was missed opportunity. Like, the originals cast together, that's what everybody wanted and expected. The original cast together on screen one last time. They should have brought them back one last time.
You think they played it too safe?
I think they played it too safe, especially with The Force Awakens. And they play, because got a great great reception first off, and then the cracks started to show. You ask people about The Force Awakens, and they're like, nowadays. Back when it came out, it was amazing. Redeemed the prequels, fantastic, and then that kind of settled.
I think the primary issue is the creative control. I think you had people that weren't enough versed in the Star Wars universe.
Sure.
At the helm.
Yeah, definitely. That's a
There's
shared part of it.
Quotes from Kathleen Kennedy that we don't have enough subject matter. And it's like,
yeah, she did say that.
Thousands of fucking books.
Oh, they threw all that shit out the window.
In the garbage.
Yeah, they threw it in the garbage. They threw all that 90s EU in the garbage.
This isn't commercialized.
Well, the main reason is like, no, we want to write our own shit to make a million fucking books and comics like that's fresh, not all the shit that they made the last 30 years. From Heir to the Empire Beyond.
Quality.
And that was all good stuff that people really enjoy. Not to say that there isn't newer stuff that's coming out now that's good. But like the problem was that it left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths that loved that original stuff, Heir to the Empire.
Those are your fans. That's your core audience.
Yeah. Well, you see, not to the corporate entity, because
you want the kids so the parents buy.
The ones that were reading Heir to the Empire in 1990, those guys are 50, 60 years old. Those are dinosaurs. Disney doesn't give a fuck about that.
Well, they want to promote their theme parks. They want to
promote every facet of the franchise as they can suckle every dime from it, including but not limited to the theme parks. Which I went to.
You've been. I haven't.
Yeah, it was really nice. I didn't see the new ride is open now. Rise of the Resistance, the premium ride. So I hear it's amazing. I hear it's the best ride ever made.
Like a shooter or simulation? Is it an actual roller coaster?
Apparently a combination of everything. It's like apparently the ride really starts. like on the 10 minutes of the line before the ride starts. So in other words, it's about 14 minutes of interaction. So there's
so when you're getting close to the ride, you're interacting with
pre-show is going on, stuff like that, exactly. And I haven't actually spoiled myself because I do want to eventually go see this fucking thing. But apparently it's like every type of like ride combined with like simulator, huge giant room, fucking.
Is this a Falcon or what?
No, you apparently you fly onto like a resistance ship. It's called Rise of the Resistance, or is that the name of it? Yeah, Rise of the Resistance. And you go onto the resistance ship, and like you're in the big what's it called room? The big
the command center or
not
something.
Not the command center, but the room where like a huge ship would fly in. It's evading me right now. Like the hangar.
Hangar.
Apparently, it's a full size, massive hangar with like 30. Animatronic stormtroopers, and then you drive through an omni-mover, which is kind of like a
tank similar.
Yeah, it's a,
like a space tank.
It's a trackless like space tank, like controlled by like an R2D2 type. And it's like, and then there's two full-sized AT-AT walkers, and they shoot at you like, and it's like realistic.
So are you fighting them, or you're evading them, or
evading them? Like you're on a mission,
Is there like a Chewbacca or a droid with you, or?
Well, there is a droid running the thing or whatever, like the omni-mover that you're in is like, whoa, and it's like the blasters, and then apparently you're in another room, and like this got spoiled, and Kylo Ren's lightsaber actually like cuts through the ceiling, and like legit, and
so
it's not
like
a screen,
sparks and everything,
exactly, and like somehow they got like a real glowing thing that looks like a lightsaber to come through, and it like cuts through the ceiling, like not a screen, it actually does it, and
it sounds tremendous.
It's apparently the best ride they've ever made, so it does. It's better than the Avatar rides that they made.
I think it's a 4-hour wait. Probably.
I heard that with like the prerequisite boarding pass that you need to like get on your phone.
So
and,
do you have to like reserve a space online?
Yes, you need a boarding pass beforehand. And I heard with the prerequisite boarding pass, it was still 90 to 120 minutes. And like that's not standby line. Standby line.
So imagine you're from Europe or whatever.
Fuck that.
You do this whole giant trip to go to Star Wars Land. You spend $2,000 to $3,000 to take your kids.
More than that, Sean.
And they're like, "Oh, where's your pass to go on the ride?" You're like, "I don't have a pass."
Well, that happened to me.
Sorry.
Well, listen. Long story short, if you're gonna
no room at the inn.
No room.
Bye.
Well, that's what happened to me. I went to Disneyland, but I went really randomly. We didn't intend on going. We were just in Southern California, and I was like, the last day, I was like, why don't we just go to Disneyland? Star Wars Land's fucking a mile. Like, literally, I was like, it's an hour. It's less than an hour away. I could go to Star Wars Land. I was like, let's just hit it because the next time I'll be able to go is in 4 years from now. So we went. And that was the thing. It's like I got to ride the Millennium Falcon ride, Smuggler's Run, which was sick. It's a great ride. It's not the best ride in the world.
The Sabers or Droid Spa, which I'm very interested in.
No, I didn't do the Saber because it was fucking expensive as fuck. I spent $500 getting in there.
I think the Saber is like $200.
200 plus, 200 and change.
What's the droid, like $60, 50?
I think 80, something like that. So they had the little
the droid thing looked cool too.
The droid's cool. They're like this big, and they get interacts and shit via Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. Yeah, blue, purple, orange, anything, green.
And there's different astromechs. There's like
R5s,
R5D4s,
R2s, probably a few other ones. Yeah.
So they have the murder ones though.
Which one? The black ones, for the Imperial ones.
The Imperial ones.
Yeah, they have those,
there's a couple. There's like the IG series.
Yeah, I don't know if they do IG-88 ones.
There was a sadistic droid in Jabba's palace that was torturing.
That one's there though. He's out. He's an animatronic talking around.
He's cool.
He's roasting Rontos in the food court. I have video of him.
I remember reading Tales of Jabba's Palace.
Oh,
there's a whole like, I don't know, 50-page story about him. I don't remember his name, but he was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
And he has a cool look because he's different than the other droids you typically see.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. He's great. The one that's we have need for you on our master's sails barge, and we think you'll fit in. Knight, you're a feisty little one.
But I like that he's like tortured. You see the legs in the air.
He was doing that at the thing. I'm trying to see if I have a picture of it.
I was a fan of his. I don't remember his name though.
EV99, I think his name is.
Yeah, he was cool.
Of course, I know that. But he's there. He's burning. He's incinerating things. Why don't I have all my pictures? My trip. Oh, here we go. But yeah, so that's going on. I mean, that was all really cool. Did I take any pictures of him? Oh no, but here's like Hammerhead in like one of the rooms. He's like a lot of animatronics hanging.
Love it.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff was very cool.
Now, did you have a beer at the cantina?
Well, there we go. So the cantina, sorry, sir, you need a reservation to get in this cantina.
What about Moe's Tavern? Oh, that's a separate.
That's Universal.
Corporate entity.
Yeah, separate. What about Moe's
Did you have a beer there, Annie, as well?
I did not have a beer at Moe's Tavern because that is Universal Studios and not Disneyland.
So you missed the two coolest places to get a beer.
No, I've been to Simpsons Land before, but I didn't have a beer. I think what happened was we were getting.
I would like to have an authentic Duff beer.
Yeah. I hear it tastes like a bud.
Yeah, I think it's a generic Pilsner lager.
Yeah, it's just exactly.
But it's still Duff beer. Yeah. I would like to really have both those experiences.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah.
I haven't been since 2008, so they weren't in existence.
I was last in Universal in 2016, and then we didn't get to go to Moe's that time either. But I did ride the Simpsons ride.
I was on the ride. It was underwhelming.
I wasn't that impressed with the Simpsons ride. I felt like the Back to the Future ride that it replaced was much better than that. I felt it was a much better ride.
I remember the old Star Wars ride.
Star Tours, still there. They just like it's different.
Is there like
screens?
Do they pay homage to it? With like the old droid.
Yeah. The old droid is in the like.
I don't remember what he looks like, but I remember the ride
Rex.
itself.
His name was
Rex.
White. It was Paul Rubens. It's the ship
Pee Wee
is
Herman. There you go.
It's my first day or whatever. But the ship is still the same. It's the Star Tours ship, whatever the Space Reader 3000 or something.
We're getting always on sidetracks.
Yeah, we're getting very sidetracked here. What was the original point here?
To the movie itself. So we saw it.
We saw the movie.
Overall, what did you think?
Listen, I liked it. I liked it in the sense that it was entertaining. It is a hodgepodge of schlock. It is very messy. And
for sure messy.
All over the place, and the main plot points are so ham-fisted. So I don't know how I'm going to see this movie going forward years from now. It was entertaining watching it. I liked watching it.
But the cooler parts, like the hidden Sith world, like these holocrons.
A lot of those things were really cool.
But these holocrons too.
The holocrons. They should have just called them holocrons. Why are we not taking direct lore, as everyone knows? What do we call it? We call them wayfinders. Just call it a fucking holocron. Like
holocron's cooler. It's the lore. Wayfinders sound like some
GPS
devices.
We've been hearing holocrons for exactly. We're using TomTom and Garmin to find the Emperor. Use your Sith TomTom device.
Now available at Best Buy.
Now available at Best Buy for $159.99. Yeah, so.
But they didn't explore the cooler, and all right. Secondly, which I believe was.
I feel like they just kind of.
The Emperor's resurrection.
They teetered around cool ideas like that. Like
the Emperor's resurrection really cool did not explore it at all. they just kind of.
Oh no! So well, yeah, that's
they like cut it out of the script.
I mean, listen, it's the biggest plot point. Everybody knows that the Emperor is in this movie, but obviously the biggest plot problem here is that, you know, he came in out of nowhere. You know, Snoke got killed in The Last Jedi. And J.J. Abrams was like, what do we do? He's like, just bring back the Emperor. Everybody loves the Emperor.
Okay,
without
so
any rhyme or reason.
They show Snoke's in a cloning chamber.
Yeah, just a...
No explanation.
I know, just a jar of Snokes. I made Snoke. No, legitimately. Like, seriously, I made him.
And there's no explanation.
A jar of him growing clones of him.
Who is he? What's his purpose? Where is he from?
I mean, when they're writing a script like this,
they literally were like...
doesn't matter.
They were literally like, oh, man,
That's the problem with...
This character sucks. Let's write him off.
Well, that was what...
That was Snoke. He has zero relevance.
That was what what's his name did though. Ryan Johnson. You see, and like I said, with the missed opportunity,
too many cooks in the kitchen.
Definitely too many cooks. Well, that's the problem of
George Lucas had tight ship.
Now
you have this staff, this crew.
Well, there
and
you
all
go.
Fucking suck.
Of the disjointedness. At least the prequel trilogy was one vision, even though it was a fucking messy. I mean, listen, we're of the age now. Like the internet in the last 5 to 7 years has come around on the prequels.
But I'll say even the prequels at least had a structure. You know, it had a direction.
Yeah, for the most part, there were some things that they
like the droid factory and shit like
Master
that.
Sifo Dyas was never acknowledged. Like kind of Grievous came out of nowhere. Duke, you know what I mean? Like when you think about things that felt like a little like, oh, well, who's this General Grievous popping out of nowhere?
The Trade Federation.
Yes, of course. But so like there are, particularly Master Sifo Dyas, when you think about it, because I've had a month to go over this, and it's like, well, were there things in the prequels that felt this way? And I had to go back and think. And I was like, okay, Master Sifo Dyas, he came out of nowhere, and then they never explained it. So that's one thing that's like that. But overall, it did feel like A to C, and this doesn't feel like an A to C. It feels like an A to F to
zigzag.
Yeah, it's a zigzag.
Cooler story plots. They rushed or didn't explain.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the part of missed opportunity. I see the biggest missed opportunity is that you didn't have the original characters on screen together. You should have just had that.
And Rey just because that's what we wanted. Super fucking power.
Well, they wrote you in a reason for that. She's a Palpatine, and now I'm sure that the internet complaining that she was a Mary Sue had something to do with that. It's like, okay, the internet's been complaining about her being overpowered. What do we do? Just make her a Palpatine. That solves that problem.
So here's my question, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
She's a Palpatine.
Go ahead. Keep talking. I gotta straighten this.
Does the Emperor have consensual sex? I honestly don't think he does. I think when he wants to, when he has his little horny itch, he bangs who he wants.
Well, okay.
You think he's going on dates around the galaxy?
Yeah.
He's like, bring her to me.
It does beg the question, when did he do it? Did he do it as Scarface? Did he do it as Hideous Emperor? Or did he do it before when he was just Senator,
Well, if you look at the Naboo timeline to Rise, this is after his transformation that he's conceiving Rey.
No.
Her parents.
Her parents. Her father, I think he said.
So maybe he was a Chancellor Naboo, just getting a lot of tail.
Yeah.
That could have been it.
So apparently there is a character that people are saying that it could be. So I don't know if you remember. She's in the prequels. It's this bald, kind of alien-looking woman. That's when he does this speech. In Revenge of the Sith, the first galactic empire. There's Masa Maida next to him, which is the horned blue guy.
I remember the horn one.
And then to the left of him is a bald woman. So everybody's trying to say that it's probably her. But
bald woman? I don't like the sound of that.
Let me show you the picture of her. Okay, so right here, this one right here.
See, that's a famous scene because there was ETs in one of the.
Oh yeah, in the so this one right here. That's they're trying to say that it could be her. Could be. I forget her character's name, but
you think they made an action figure of her?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me see. Yeah, I believe I would believe that they made a Masa Maida, not Mara Jade. That's Luke's wife.
Mara Jade was a video game character, also I believe.
I know that.
It was cool as some of the video game exclusive characters that they made.
Oh yeah. I mean, they did that for Shadows of the Empire, of course.
There was another one. Well, they introduced a Dark Trooper. What the fuck? It was a PlayStation 1 game. Dark Forces, I want to say.
Oh, yeah. Well, that goes back. Yeah. I played Dark Forces not that long ago because I downloaded it onto my PS1 Classic, and I fucked around with it. That is actually a precursor to...
Dark Forces one is
the best. To Shadows of the Empire.
That's the best PlayStation Star Wars game. I think.
Yeah, well, it's a very much a precursor to the same sound effects.
They came out with action figures from that game as well,
So
two of them.
what, the Dark Trooper maybe?
Dark Trooper,
Yeah.
and there's another, I think the main character,
I heard of
whoever
those.
he is.
Yeah, I know the Dark Trooper was pretty much popularized by that game.
But it's cool because it's the purple backs, and usually I have a still from the movie, but those are cartoon.
Yes. Yeah.
I
mean, they've made a lot.
I had it for my PS3.
I mean, look, there's Thrawn. There's been Thrawn, figures for years, and that
he was another one animated.
Yeah.
Thrawn is the biggest emergence from the books. You know, I'm a big
for
Thrawn fan.
For sure. I mean, you think about the Star Wars books. What do you got? You got the Grand Admiral Thrawn. You got Mara Jade. You got maybe Jaden and Jason Solo. Is that their names? And then
they were.
Anakin Solo.
They were all like, let's erase them. All right,
well,
Kylo.
they kind of cherry picked from that.
They took the better traits of them and created Kylo Ren. Essentially,
Yeah.
That's what happened.
They took the traits of Jason,
Force abilities,
Jason Solo, and Anakin Solo, and they kind of mashed it and made him Ben Solo. Which is fine. I
honestly, Kylo's a positive. I like Kylo.
He's
Ren.
the best part of the new movie.
I agree.
New movies for sure.
I think he did a tremendous job. I thought his character arc was cool.
Yeah.
I thought he kind of found some redemption.
Yeah. And were you okay with his redemption? Because some people aren't.
I think you know what? I think it was appropriate.
Sure.
I think Adam Driver was a good cast.
Yeah, he did a great job. He's the best. He was the best part of this shit.
He was.
I don't want to say it's shit, but it's it infuriates you to be like.
Finn got on my nerves. I liked him in the first one. In every movie, he progressively got worse as a character.
You thought he was worse in this one?
Yeah.
I think his worst outing is the Last Jedi.
He's getting douchier, less likable.
I think Ryan Johnson didn't know how to write him. I think he was fine in
he had
Rise of
potential,
Skywalker.
and he kind of
they
withered.
stayed. Oh, his character arc squandered entirely. They could have did so much with that, and they did nothing. I get it. They're 2.5 hour movies. There's not enough time, but cut the fat. Cut the fat. We don't need Luke suckling titty milk. Cut the fat.
What do you think about Poe Dameron then? I thought
not bad. I mean, another one that
it
could
was
have maybe
cool. He
had
gave him
more.
a little bit of a background story.
Yeah. I felt like that kind of conflicted with his background story in some of the books. Because he was supposed to be a Rebel Alliance born character. And then they kind of retconned that and was like, watch that, Sean, you're giving us some noise here.
All right.
Yeah, just talk right into the mic. Don't be rattling it. You're giving us some noise. But I thought he would. No, I think he's good. I think Finn is not my least favorite. He's just the least developed. More like another wasted opportunity. And in the end, we could talk about wasted opportunities, but the biggest problem, and everyone knows it now, it's publicly known, is that they didn't have a fucking outline of where you needed to go from The Force Awakens to the last movie. It's what you'd think somebody in Hollywood would be like, all right, we need to figure out how we're going to do this and get a big whiteboard out and draw from here to here.
From A to Z.
How do we get
Instead,
there?
Instead, there's detours.
Yeah,
there's deviations.
This is one fucking story. You're thinking about the original trilogy all along. George Lucas had that plan. I get it. There's different directors and stuff.
It's like looking at Lord of the Rings,
But his treatment and story was always really how he had it. He had writers come in, but he gave them outlines to be like,
but
okay.
He knew Luke was going to fight the Emperor at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I feel like at Force Awakens, they had no idea who Rey was, where Rey's going, and what's the point.
No.
I think another terrible story arc was Supreme Leader, the general guy, the red hair.
Oh, Hux, another one so blatantly wasted.
Bill, lame. Well, Captain Phasma, Bill, lame.
Yeah.
These characters are so big in the structure of the story, go nowhere, have no purpose, and they write them off.
That started out well. You see, okay, so Captain Phasma was wasted in The Force Awakens. Fine. But you could have did much more with her in The Last Jedi. Of course they fucking didn't. They didn't do a damn thing with her. What I thought would have been the best thing for her, and going into The Last Jedi, I was like, okay, well, they didn't give her any screen time in Episode 7. So I figured, well, for Episode 8, she's going to come in with a vengeance be hunting Finn.
Yeah, it's killing people.
And furious that she's bested by a traitor. And exactly. But personal business with Finn. But that should have been his part of the movie. Oh shit, I'm racing away
fighting
Phasma.
And have this big epic battle. And
not fucking Casino Planet with Asia. What's her name?
Rose
Tico. And what's Benicio del Toro, another character that could have went.
Look at me, I'm a gambler.
Oh god. delete that whole part of the movie from my mind.
It's funny. So now the new figure of the puffer nobody wants. I don't know her name. It was the black woman that was hanging out with Finn.
Oh, what are you talking about? She's getting tremendous traction. She wasn't nearly as bad as Rose Tico.
So nobody wants her pop.
What's her
figure.
her name is Jana, I think. Jana?
Something like that. So you go to Target again. You know, I had a friend.
Janas are flying off the shelf?
That's the figure nobody wants. There's always the season of the pop figure nobody wants.
Well, listen. The reality of it is that who's the majority buying this shit? You know, it's middle-aged fucking men, and like, you know,
I'm not buying my son that figure.
They want the Luke, they want the Emperor, and like, who are the afterthoughts? Like all these like extra characters that like no one gives a shit about. You know, really, it's like
it doesn't matter. You can be 2019 and implement
you want
diverse characters, but no one's buying the toys.
Yeah, I mean, it's listen, you spend with your dollar. Force diversity. I mean, like, would it have been any, you know, would people be buying her if she was like a white character, or you know what I mean? Like, I think it has.
I think she's a shitty character.
Yeah,
regardless of her race. Yeah, I think boring and unnecessary.
Yeah, I think it just has to do with like shitty like characters that like, you know, kind of like just had nowhere to go or nothing to do and are just shoehorned in, you know, like. People will buy the Emperor, you know, like new clone Emperor with, you know,
cataracts.
Yeah, cataracts. Yeah. People will buy that character for nostalgia purposes, but like, and because just visually he's cool. Like, there's not much, you know, like the Janet character really didn't add much to the movie. I mean, you know, but by that logic, you could say that maybe Billy Dean didn't, but it's just nostalgia. But I really enjoyed him in the movie, actually.
I liked Kerry Russell's character. I thought she was
liked her character
cool.
too. Yeah, she was cool. She I feel like she could have she can go somewhere. Well, I guess you couldn't do her anything in Mandalorian, but you could give her some sort of spin-off.
I thought she was cool. Yeah. She had like a little smuggler vibe.
She
had a cool backstory.
Her outfit was cool. You know,
I generally thought she was positive.
Yeah, yeah.
The big star was Babu Frick. Everyone loved Babu.
I thought that was
very well done, very cool.
I like how everyone's liking that character because I thought it was mad funny. He shows up again for no reason. But I like
little hacker, alien, tiny.
I liked it just to see him again. I was like, there he is.
He fills that kind of Baby Yoda void, if you
Yes, but I mean, of course, Baby Yoda like completely like.
Well, as a megastar.
Yeah, as a megastar, like that transcends like in Star Wars and
now that's some merch that's gonna sell.
Oh yeah, and like they did the smart thing. Of course, Disney's probably like, God damn it, we should have made Baby Yoda products beforehand, but it would have spoiled.
But the Mandalorian would have been what it is without that kind of shocker surprise.
Yes, exactly. So exactly, people would have been like, "Oh, did you hear they're making Baby Yoda?" And everybody would be like, "What the fuck?" You know. But like you know what I mean. So it was much better that it happened this way. But I'm sure Disney now that they said, "Well, Baby's hit Yoda was such a grand slam, we can't wait to make the merchandise next time." It's like, but if you make the merchandise before, it's gonna leak, like 100%. Like that was the whole thing. You make the merchandise, it leaks. You know, it's made in China. Somebody takes a picture of their phone. It's on the internet.
And even some schmo at Amazon.
Anyone, yeah, exactly. They'll see it.
That's why people are in hot water with Nintendo because they released all this Pokemon shit before the game came out, and they're like, "Who are the weak links here?"
Yeah,
so people are getting
who
fired.
is it? Some $10 an hour worker though that he doesn't care about his job. And he's like, "Oh, it's worth it." You know, you're never gonna keep that stuff hidden when it's just getting into regular people's hands, and there's no way you could hide it. So the long story short, the best way to do it is just not produce it until it's until night of. You produce it right then and there. It's like, okay, start production now. Not like don't have them in the warehouses like 2 months before.
So another thing that bothered me was, he has this epic Star Destroyer army, and it's just the magnitude of it is monstrous.
It's just one of like many flaws in this movie.
And they just write them all. They destroy them in like easiness. Whereas like
that wasn't really my problem though. My problem was that he had them in the first place.
The first movie is the effort and willpower to destroy the Death Stars against all odds, and you get that lucky shot, and you get this, you sacrifice all your resources.
Small band of a couple of guys in these shitty little X-wings versus a giant
billion ships fighting this arsenal that could destroy the galaxy, and it loses so. Yeah. The ineptitude of the First Republic is mind-boggling. Like, how do they just get destroyed so easily all the fucking time?
Should we? I've got a whole list of things I got gripes of. Should we list the things that we like first? Let's list the things that we like.
Okay, I think we both agreed that.
Let's start from the beginning.
Kylo Ren, we both liked Kylo Ren.
Totally, completely love the character of Kylo Ren. It's the best part of this sequel trilogy. Okay, there's that.
I liked Lando Calrissian, Billy D. Williams.
Billy D's great coming back, especially for his age. Looked great. It's fun. Everything he said was great.
He was a check.
Check positive.
Okay.
What about Rey herself?
I like I think I like Daisy Ridley. I think
Yeah.
she's attractive. She has the look.
Yeah.
She's she's a likable character.
Yeah.
I think how broken they made her, where she's just this immortal Superman, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, you want to have some realism to her, like, or maybe she'll die, maybe she has to overcome some obstacles. She just inherited the Force within like fucking 6 months.
So you don't think making her a Palpatine, spoiler alert, her last name is Palpatine, solves any of that?
I don't think so, because I think the Palpatine was cunning, and half his character was his double, his Sidious persona, and his kind of political dealings to create the Empire.
Mm-hmm. But I mean,
her just having these Force abilities, okay, cool.
Well, he was strong with the Force, so the Force runs strong in my family. My father has it, I have it. Now Rey has. You know what I mean? So like, does that answer the Mary Sue problem that she's a Palpatine to you?
I think it's just another rushed kind of.
Yeah,
let's just find a quick out to explain how she's so strong.
Well, the whole internet's complaining about her being a Mary Sue. I think that it just harkens back to this problem: is that JJ had different plans. Ryan Johnson was like, nah, she's nobody. And then the whole internet was like, oh, just anybody could be completely invincible with the Force then. And then you got 2 years of the internet or 4 years of the internet complaining about that, and JJ was just like, oh fuck. Just make her a Palpatine. That solves that problem,
I was thinking Obi-Wan in the beginning.
A lot of people were.
It was rushed, convoluted. The
whole this fucking convoluted is this movie. That's for damn sure. It's it's just the pacing.
They're making it
messy.
too woke. Okay, like you have to put irrelevant lesbian characters kissing for no reason.
Are those things that bother you, Sean? Like you,
well,
you had to see. It's in the movie for two frames, one shot, and Sean's like, look at that.
It's not necessary. Okay, it's not necessary.
Listen, this movie's made in California. It's very necessary.
You don't need people. It doesn't matter what orientation they are. They don't need to be kissing in a fucking battle.
Lucasfilm is in San Francisco, Sean. They needed to ham-fist that in. Things like that shouldn't bother you, though. I mean, I think it's a little ridiculous.
It's a space story about,
they cut that out for China. China couldn't have that.
Of course not.
They cut that shot out. Yeah. I mean, China, this movie's just fucking tanking in China. But that's more to do with the sense that, remember,
China, maybe because they took out Rose's character. She's only in the movie 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We don't like it anymore.
No, they didn't.
Let's wait for Venom 2.
Last Jedi didn't.
Extra CGI.
Last Jedi didn't do very good there either. But I mean, like, it's Star Wars doesn't have a built-in nostalgia or like a cultural phenomenon there. First of all, Star Wars wasn't even released. Obviously, wasn't released
in the 70s. It didn't.
No, they only been starting to really see our movies in the last 10 years. Yeah.
So the People's Republic of China was not going to the movie theaters
right,
in the 70s.
People's Republic of China there's no built-in nostalgia there where a guy that's 30 or 40
so Chairman Mao didn't have a big movie theater scene?
No, they were not seeing American movies.
It's ironic it was a Chinese theater that first debuted Star
Man's
Wars.
Chinese theater, that's right.
There's some irony right there.
I would have loved to seen a Star Wars movie there, but yeah, the irony...
That's still like a LA landmark, right?
Of course. I was there, I didn't go there I was just in
Were you
LA.
actually there or you just drove by it?
No, I was in front many times.
I mean, have you watched the movie there?
No, I didn't waste my time. Like, it never rains in LA. Like, usually if you're on, vacation or holiday, if it rains, go see a movie. It never rains in LA. See a movie when I'm, on my vacation.
Hopefully it rains in Australia.
But I've been in front in the whole thing. I've been on all the, the Hollywood Hands and all that. Yeah, no. The Chinese theater's great. And they have a replica of it in Disney.
Okay, so let's go to the ending, right?
Well, all right. So what about the Burning Man scene? Did you like that?
Burning Man.
When they're in the desert, kind of, and there's a party thing.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was all right.
I like when they explore alien cultures.
So do I, though. That's cool. That looks very Star Warsy.
Lord of the Galaxy.
Yes,
and that was cool.
Expands the galaxy. I feel that way, too. So that's fine.
But then, again, they go into the healing alien worms. Like, no explanation, just rushed. Like, there was never any Jedi healing abilities in any other movie.
No, just the books and the video games.
And then it's just boom, I felt that was a little bit of a rush.
You're giving us a lot of noise here, Sean.
These little fragile technology.
It's the cables.
So the healing ability, I think it was rushed. It was cool the Mandalorian sprinkled it, like, right during the same time frame. But you should have had a little bit more of a backstory of Jedi healing abilities. He just never.
Oh, that's so funny. Is that the Mandalorian set it up the night before? Yeah, isn't that almost insane? Luckily, I had watched the Mandalorian that night because actually they released the Mandalorian a night
I didn't.
early.
I watched it
after,
a couple
right?
days
What
after.
did you think watching it after?
It was.
Were you
Blatant.
surprised?
It was very blatant that like the timing of it.
Yeah,
for sure.
like too soon, Junior. They should have did it a week before to get people a little ready for that. Because like I was like, oh shit, they're releasing a Mandalorian early tonight because they usually release it on Friday night at 3 a.m.
Yeah, they released it like a Wednesday or something.
They released it a day early because of the movie, and I was like, oh shit, it was released. I'm gonna go. I'll watch it, and I watched it. And the healing, and then they did it in the movie, and I was like, "Yo, that was set up last night." In
less than 24
in
hours.
video media, that totally less than 24 hours. I was like, "What?" Really, it was set up same day. Insane, And I was shocked with that. And the second she heals the serpent lizard or whatever, and I was like, oh, that's coming back 5 more times. That was obvious, and it did. I mean, and a lot of people have issue with
another
that.
thing. I thought, what?
Just like another
Chewie dying. I'm like, wow. You know what?
yeah.
That's a really kind of tragic
Ballsy.
but cool send off of
Yeah.
Chewie. Like,
yeah, a lot of people felt that.
Very-
I felt he should. You
I
ran
thought
to
he
the
should have
bathroom.
died.
You ran to the bathroom at this point, right? Wait, did you see him die?
I saw him die, then I took a piss,
You're like, I'm out of here for this
and
shit.
then, but I was like, you know what? Just like when Leia should have died.
Right.
When you kill off a character in a momentous way, people have a legacy to it. They're like,
Yeah,
oh, wow.
but are you going to like look back and be like, look how Chewie died? Like Rey force lightning him? Like it's
I
not
thought
like he
it
went
would-
out on a blaze of glory.
See, that would have
helping his
left an
team.
impact to me. That would have been like, oh, wow. That gives the story
I-
more
I wa-
relevance.
I wasn't
a little
buying-
more emotional impact. Not just
Maybe.
keep everything gravy, everyone
they-
lives, everyone's happy.
They played it as safe as could be with any of that shit. I think Bob Iger.
like, if Leia dying in space, you would have never forgot that. Instead, she
Yeah.
floats around, you're like, fuck that character.
floating was.
I think you kill Leia, you kill Chewie, people are like, oh, man, you gotta fight the Empire.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
this
I don't disagree.
emotional relevance. Now they're just everyone, no one dies.
I think if we're gonna go look at it like that we shouldn't be killing off like the family dog, and that's what I kept saying in the movie. I was like, you don't kill a family dog, and I was like, they didn't do it. I can almost guarantee they didn't do it. And then of course he comes back, and I was like, I'm not shocked because I didn't think they would have the balls to kill off Chewie. If you're gonna kill somebody, kill fucking Poe or kill Finn. Kill these characters.
I thought Finn should have died in the other movie too, and he was like,
Yeah, he could have.
they
he
keep
died.
saving everyone.
Yeah,
And
there's
it's like,
no tension when
there's-
you just keep everyone alive. But
There's
also,
no casualties, there's no loss.
yeah, I mean, but at the same time,
And you like kill Han like very like forced, like
yeah.
I'm depressed, Dad. You're gonna die.
Yeah. I know, and well, nobody liked that. I don't think. Did anybody like the way that Han Solo died in that movie?
No,
That-
I think
yeah.
it was forced for sure.
And I remember when we left our good friend Pete, who was supposed to come to this podcast. He
Crickets.
crickets. He when we were Force Awakens, he was disgusted with that. He's like, fucking killed Han. And I don't disagree. He's a character that we've loved for 40 years. Of course you're gonna be upset that he's dead.
Disney played it too fucking safe.
Yeah, but also at the same time, like killing Chewie, I wouldn't have liked. C-3PO rebooting, you could have did that, I guess, which they also pussied out on.
I thought another thing. I think that would have been he was in every movie. I think he's a main huge character.
Yeah, he's in
Him-
every movie. Jeez.
Him doing that sacrifice would have made him kind of this legendary character.
Yeah, I mean, they could have did that.
Think about it like this, right?
Mm.
Everyone reveres Abraham Lincoln. Would people look at him differently if he never got shot?
Probably because he's not a martyr. Same thing with JFK.
That's these things. So, like, if C-3PO, the character's dead because he gets wiped to get the Sith location, everyone would be like, oh, wow, C-3PO is such a cool character, and gave it its all to the very end.
I think.
Then you just put another fucking, USB in his fucking neck, and he's back to normal.
True. I think maybe they were probably concerned that, because Anthony Daniels loves a paycheck, so they were probably like, oh, yo, we need to use him more, but they still could have.
What could he possibly do at this point? Like, that character has done everything it can do.
He's got.
And you should have killed it when it was on top.
He's done hip hop commercials, no smoking commercials.
Had C-3PO cereal.
C-3POs, you can't beat those.
The character has done everything.
Yeah,
You
but
can't do anything more with it.
Anthony Daniels is always ready for another paycheck.
You can't
But
literally.
yeah, you could have probably did that. That
you
would have been
literally
better.
can't do anything more with C-3PO.
That would have been more acceptable than killing Chewie off, I guess.
They don't
But
kill
to
off
me, anyway.
fucking anyone, and when they do, they make it terrible. That's another problem.
It's just hard to kill off.
I know it's for
in
children.
these happy-go-lucky
But
movies.
what kids
yeah.
are gonna cry when there's a dead fucking robot? Okay, it's like you throw out your vacuum cleaner, you're gonna cry.
And it's not like they killed him. They just wiped his memory. They could have did it. They just didn't. They didn't do it.
They played everything too fucking safe, and I think that's a Disneyfication of it.
Nah, because the original trilogy was like that.
No, but you know what? Even the sequels, like Mace Windu, they killed off cool characters.
Yeah, but you knew they had to go. They weren't going to be like that. The
I assure-
prequels are a different animal because they all had to go. He
But I
created
guarantee
characters
you,
that
if this
needed
was
to die.
Disney World and prequels, you,
Mace Windu lives happily
You
ever
think
after.
they
They all
ha-
go to their respective like hiding places.
do you think they have this scene in the Jedi Temple when the kid's like,
No,
"Ooh"?
you don't have that. I'm
That
sure
would never exist in
No,
Disney.
but I mean,
universe.
like George was going full on because he was like, all right, you know what? You think my movies suck? We're gonna kill everyone off now. Kill them all off.
now we kill no one off.
Now we kill no one off. But listen, he didn't kill anybody off with Return of the Jedi. You know, all the original characters lived in Return of the Jedi. Nobody died. The Battle of Endor, everybody survived. Even maybe a teddy bear died. You know, maybe a single teddy bear
I
died.
swear too, it's like the rebel casualties. You do like it's like the U.S. war going to Iraq. How many people died? 1% relative to
1%.
the Iraqi army, which was wiped.
500,000. Yeah, no. Just that's what we got to do. All Star Wars movies from now on are just gonna be drone strikes. They're gonna just use drone strikes.
So yeah, it had overwhelming flaws. The positives,
I have a whole list, but we're still talking about the goods. Although the bands just keep coming out. Now
It's hard to not.
I know. I listen. In the end, I mean, did you
All right,
like
so we have
this
Babu
movie?
Frick positive. Okay,
Babu
we
Frick
have
positive.
Lando positive.
Lando positive.
Kylo
Kylo
Ren
Ren positive. Are we
Kerry
gonna,
Russell positive.
Kerry Russell positive. Are we gonna say Holocron positive?
I thought the Sith world was cool. I
Oh,
thought
the Sith
they
world's a positive.
very explorative. I felt like
Exegol's a positive. The problems with it are that they didn't take it from lore. They just whipped it out of nowhere. It looks cool. It's just, I guess it's just like a thunder planet, But like the whole Sith kind of ruins were sick, and they should have showed more.
another
of that.
really cool scene right in the very
I think
beginning.
there should have been
Kylo's
more-
getting the holocron.
Yeah,
That planet was
Mustafar.
Mustafar.
Yeah.
And that was really cool seeing it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you're thinking, when you think of Mustafar, you think of the volcanic
Yeah, this
pits.
was like a red forest.
This was like in the woods, but I thought
They should have had more of this movie in kind of planets like that, like that.
Dark, edgy.
Yes.
Sith
A little
infused.
too much. Fucking J.J. Abrams keeps going back to sand planets.
Stop
It's like,
going to sand planets. Stop going to fucking.
I know they look good, but we've done it so many fucking times. Switch it
Another
up.
one, right? The rebels are always in the fucking jungle. What is that?
Yeah,
Why
love
are
the
they
jungle.
always in the jungle
you
for their
can't-
last epic battle?
I think the thing is that you can't go to snow. People are gonna think of Hoth.
But the jungle again, I think of Yavin 4.
I don't disagree, but I think
It's the same.
I think, but how
cinematics.
but what do you where? Like George just said this in the '90s. In terms of environment, where do you go? You had a
It's
better.
hard to do an ice
You got
planet.
a better option. You can't do another ice planet. Hoth. You can't. They did it with the salt planet. And everybody was like, "Fucking Hoth," and it's like, "But it's salt. Fucking Hoth." So you couldn't do that. So what do? At that point you're gonna have to start relying on CGI because like the planet Felucia from Revenge of the Sith. I always felt that maybe they should have did something like that in these movies.
Like a Vietnam planet? Is that?
Yeah, but with giant, like you remember Felucia from Revenge of the Sith? You know what I mean? It's the giant.
Yeah, the
like,
clones fighting.
Yeah, and it was just giant, like kind of.
even
Almost
at-
like Pandora, almost could have did something like that. Half
Kajik was cool with
Kashyyyk, yeah,
Kashyyyk with
the Wookiees, yeah.
Another, but it was more.
Yeah.
It wasn't jungle. It was foresty. It wasn't
giant
jungle.
foresty, yeah. You
It was
see,
similar to Endor.
I think that's what you need to do going forward for environments of Star Wars. Really, what they should have did is start here. Do part because I think they didn't want to rely on CG too much because people have been pissed off about that. But I think you need to in the future to create new environments. Do a combo.
My favorites.
You have to-
I loved.
You have to go to places that are real and look cool, but switch them up a little.
I think my two
Use
favorites.
some CG to create some fucking weird shit.
My two favorites in the Star Wars universe. I love Camino. I think it's super cool.
Yeah,
And
Just
I
a
like
rain
I like
planet. You like
Bespin.
You've
I
been
like
playing
Cloud
a lot
City.
of Battlefront too.
I have
Me
been
too.
playing
I've
recently.
been playing
I think I like the updates. Are pretty cool.
Yeah, I've been playing. Felucia is in the updates.
But Camino, I like Cloud City. I think they're both pretty cool locales because they're different.
Cloud City's
And
great. Yeah, Cloud.
They have a lot of nooks and crannies in it. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
well, and that's a great thing. Always, cool. What's over? What could be over there?
And like
it's always
Camino,
an
like you don't
interesting
see in the
thing.
movies, but there's Camino aliens, and they're these
Yeah.
like tall, gray, silver-looking things, and they were like cloning.
Is your
experts.
father here, Django or Boba? Sure.
So like, you gotta explore, implement cool new places. Don't just rehash another jungle fucking
Yeah,
spot.
or another sand
fucking
planet.
spot.
It's not Tatooine,
Jakku,
and it's not
Tatooine, just without the huts,
It wasn't.
you know,
It wasn't. But this new one wasn't even Jakku. It was just another sand planet. This wasn't Jakku in this movie. You know that.
It wasn't. It was another.
It was another sand planet. It was just another sand planet. You'd been better off going to Tatooine, which we eventually did go to Tatooine.
I feel like they need a Star Wars geography book because they don't have one. They don't look
Yeah.
at it and they don't care.
Yeah, I honestly take more inspiration.
Introduce a newer one. Have like a Crystallian planet.
Right, we could do it. You could do
more
it.
moons and shit.
Partial, again, you're gonna need to do partial CG. Go to real locations, utilize them, and to make them a little different, use some CG. Like the Mustafar in this movie was just like a forest, but they put a red. They made it red, and then all of a sudden, new planet.
You could do something like the Nepal, where you do this kind of mountainous thing.
Mountainous,
and you have some kind of spiritual monkish type people.
Yeah, you can do all sorts of stuff.
There's so much potential, and they keep rehashing the same
I follow
thing.
this thing on Facebook called Unusual Places. Hold on. Unusual. I didn't want to get all my notes deleted. I do want to go over all my notes, but it's called Unusual Places in like not America, but in the world. And there is like fantastic, like, oh shit, that looks so alien. And it's like they should go to these places to film like this.
They get too complacent.
Yeah, it's like let's just go to the
Endor was cool.
Desert.
Another forest planet.
Like here.
Yavin 4.
Here's a place in Peru. Like
the Andes. I was in the Andes.
Like use something like the Andes, but you could switch it up a little with color correction and stuff, and it's like brand new planet,
new aliens,
new
creatures,
new some sort of new marketplace or something where there's aliens, and like bam, new location.
All they do is a Burning Man, fucking.
Yeah, I mean that was the only switch up, which was a good positive change than what we saw on Jakku, which was just Tatooine 2.0. I did like the little festival going on and all the alien freaks. That was cool, but also we're just on a sand planet again. We done seen that 15 times before. It doesn't feel fresh. It's just nostalgia, sand planet.
Where is there to go from now? From where they left it, where is the next direction?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think there's going to be a 10, 11, 12. I mean, I don't think there should be with what's happened so far.
If there is, do it in 20 years from now.
I think the problem... Yeah, exactly. I think the problem is that the original trilogy is just such a fucking lightning in a bottle situation that you're never going to get it again. The prequels couldn't do it. These couldn't do it. Nothing can do it.
It was the right place at the right time.
It's just everything. Exactly. It's just...
that space western from the 70s and the...
Everything hit. The stars aligned. The culture. The time.
It became a phenomenon.
It didn't even... The Empire Strikes Back wasn't even supposed to be a perfect movie. It just happened.
It's funny, too, because, look at Kenner getting the toy license. It was some
license is
bullshit company in Cincinnati no one ever heard of.
Yeah, no one gave a fuck
People
about
like
that.
Hasbro are like, Star Wars?
Yeah.
This looks like some off-brand Star Trek. Star Trek's dead.
Kenner was busy making easy bake ovens, and that was like the best of what they did. And then,
It's funny that you get a licensing product like that, where... It's worth you could basically get a license to print money.
Oh my god!
And all these superstar but that's a thing. Everyone underestimated what Star Wars was going to be.
Yeah, no one had any idea that this was going to be some cultural shifting phenomenon. I mean,
you ask your parents, and like your dad. I think my dad's a little more into like sci-fi than your father.
Your dad was also a little younger. How old was your dad in 77?
He was 18.
That's perfect. My dad was a little older at 24, but. Still, he's in the right.
But like your dad's not a sci-fi guy,
no,
but even he saw Star Wars in the theaters. So.
I don't think he did see Star Wars in the theaters.
My dad was in freshman in college.
Sure.
And he might have saw it twice.
A lot of
everyone
people,
was buzzing.
Yeah. I mean, like a lot of people that I talk to around this neighborhood, like that I've mentioned that. Oh, I saw Rocky that year. It's like, well, Rocky was the year before. Oh, I saw Jaws. And it's like that was the year before that. But it's like I didn't see Star Wars. So like, but some of these New Yorkers maybe didn't.
But like Star Wars resonates.
The majority of young people in America saw this fucking movie.
I could talk to my cousin 10 years older than me, and we could both have an in-depth Star Wars conversation.
Oh yeah, I've got cousins that grew up with it. They were young when they were the Return of the Jedi era when they were kids getting the Ewok Village.
Yeah, we were kids in the early '90s where we got the
resurgence,
FX,
the power of the Force thing, and then
the remakes.
And then, the special editions.
Like we were big Star Wars fans. It's kind of how we became friends, and when we were 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
When it wasn't the trendy thing to like.
Oh, by far. It was. First of all,
we were ahead of the trend.
We were very ahead of the trend because Star Wars was dormant throughout the 90s. Or throughout the 80s and the 90s. Like 80s.
Early 90s, Star Wars was worthless, dead.
86 to 94, Star Wars didn't exist except for the books. The books came out, but those were like there was no internet.
There was a very
internet.
small niche group.
Yeah, the kids that grew up with it who are now in college.
They
in
still
like
like Star Wars, but
they're reading. Oh, did you hear a Star Wars book came out? And then
you think
they
there's
go
anything
get it.
on TV?
Nothing.
There's any video
nothing.
games and nothing.
The only thing that you're seeing is maybe that maybe you saw Star Wars like on Channel 11 Saturday night movie Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it. Like it's not getting pumped like today where it's everywhere still. And
I remember. I think the first time I saw New Hope was on like the Sci-Fi Channel.
Really?
And I think like my uncle's babysitting me, and he's like, "Oh, watch Star Wars," and I'm like, "What's this?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "That's really fucking cool."
Right. So interesting for
and then
a kid.
maybe a
all the
year
visuals.
later, we're talking about it, and then the toys come out coincidentally like
95.
just then.
The toys come out in 95.
Just when I'm like getting interested in there's toys.
Yeah, perfect timing. Yeah,
And
so
then the rest was history.
We were perfect timing for that. I mean, even though we were ahead of the grain, so that's exactly what happened to me.
I think we liked it about a year before it hit the mega fucking.
2 years, I'd say, because 97 was when the special editions came out.
They were still available. They were relatively easy to get the toys, and we got it before.
Yeah.
The greenbacks are when everyone's like, "I need."
Yeah,
figures.
that was like probably later 96
But like
into
wave
97.
one, like you can go and buy the toys right away. Nobody was buying them.
Oh yeah, no, they were on the shelves. That was when I first started. In fact, my first figure. What happened was that the Christmas that year was my earliest memory of Star Wars. I'm at my uncle's
This is
house.
95. You want to say?
Yeah, we'll
96.
go ahead and say Christmas 95. Because I believe the toys were out already. And Star Wars, it's Christmas Day.
So we're 7 years old at this point.
Yeah, 7, I guess, is when I got into Star Wars, and like officially. And this is my oldest memory of Star Wars. But also at the same time, somebody got me an X-Wing for Christmas. But I remember like
the actual playset.
The X-Wing. Yeah, the X-Wing.
I never got the ships. I always wanted them.
Oh,
never
really?
got
See,
them.
but I didn't.
I had a
have
shitty land speeder.
I don't know who got it for me or why, because I don't remember being into it. I just remember, this is a cool.
It was probably like a random gift.
Yeah, here you go. It was
Like, hey, spaceship.
Yeah, right, exactly. So that's, I believe what it was. And then conveniently, Star Wars was on TV on Christmas Day, and I remember watching my earliest memory, and it was just
So
my
you were
uncle's
kinda
house in
hooked
Oakdale.
with you had the spaceship.
I had the
watching
spaceship with
movie,
me, and it's on.
and you're like, this is very interesting.
Right, my earliest memories of it are the droids walking through the sand, and then Vader interrogating Leia with the probe coming over. And now, Your Highness, we were
Tatooine's what
discuss
really
the
piqued
location.
my interest. Was
Definitely.
Jawas.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mos Eisley's
Characters,
kind of
Cantina.
desolate place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
this kind of weird, wandering, like mystic.
The droids in the desert with the skeleton in the background, and I remember being like, oh, like I wonder if that dinosaur
It
skeleton
looked like
comes
very
back,
cool and different.
So
Yeah, and
different, so odd.
It was still
on the planet.
dated because
Yes.
it was.
It did feel dated. It felt very 70s to me. And I'm like what does a 7-year-old
at
kid
this-
know of what the 70s
At this point,
is?
it's about 15 to 16 years old.
Yeah,
something
it's
like that.
like 15. Yeah, exactly. It's maybe 18 years old. So like I'm looking at it, but if like as a 7-year-old kid, I knew it as like a 70s movie. I was like, oh, this is not.
You just knew it was
'cause-
old.
yeah.
You didn't know I didn't know like the time frame specifically. I just knew it was like dated.
No, I knew it was. I knew it's 70s. I understood that because listen, I saw Jurassic Park in the theaters and stuff. So like I understood that as a new movie. You know what I mean? Like I understood, like I was already a big fan of like Batman Returns, and that was a few years before. So like I knew what was a new movie and what wasn't.
We were ahead of the grain in
Yeah,
initial
for sure.
interest.
For sure. Yeah. And we
Or we behind, like we also like Ghostbusters, which was like dying.
which was dead. Yeah. I
And,
mean,
like to
'cause-
find toys
yeah,
was like a
possible. I was very rare.
and
I was
and
able
you
to
find
get
them
them
in like bargain bins.
Bargain bins at KB Toys.
And you'd be like,
is where I
oh,
got mine.
great, you
Great.
know.
Yeah, I remember.
Like new figurines, you're buying dead
They
stock.
had one proton pack, dead stock, at the KB Toys in the mall. The last one, like, collected
the
dust.
box is destroyed.
Yeah, it
like,
was. It was like
probably returned 3 times.
It was up top, and it was like, and I was never able to get all the figures. I had one or two.
No.
We had like Ray stands.
I
and
had
stuff.
like this helicopter, which I loved.
Oh, yeah,
I was
yeah.
in like a store in like Elizabeth, like
Yeah,
some
yeah.
Spanish bullshit
And
store.
they had
with my mom.
yeah.
And they had this like Ghostbusters
Ghostbusters.
helicopter.
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah,
sitting on
yeah.
the shelf, and I'm like,
That's interesting. See, I would have liked shit like that. Like, oh wow, the
but it was like to find,
Ecto helicopter.
to find anything was
Was
you gotta
very
be
spotty
lucky,
like that,
and
yeah.
you would be in like a bargain bullshit store.
Yes,
It's
for
not like
sure.
you were
no,
like
it was hard. Like I said,
paying top dollar. for
Toys
this
R
thing.
Us didn't have them because Toys R Us was always turning over to the newest shit. I was
KB
always
was
waiting
always
for
like the more bargain.
Yeah, they had like leftover schlock.
I
yeah.
had
And
fond
that was where I
memories
got
of
most of
KB
it.
toys.
Sure,
'cause you
sure.
find a lot of gems there for cheap.
Yes.
X-Men figures, turtle
Yes,
figures.
yes,
It'd be
that
like,
kind of stuff. Both KBs I had to search for. The one
it
on
would be like
Highland
3 for 10.
and the one in the Staten Island Mall. Yeah, exactly.
And there would be a
That
treasure
kind of
trove
stuff.
of like cool shit, but it was
Yes.
just It was like a bomb went off.
Yes,
like,
yes,
it was
yeah,
just
for
a
sure.
complete mess.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no, it was.
If you want found something, you
gone
gotta
now.
go hunting.
The Generation Z kids, I'm sure, don't remember KB Toys. I guess they barely remember Toys R Us. Maybe.
I wonder when KB went out of business.
Probably about 10 years ago, right?
I want to say 98.
No, it was after that. They were around for after that.
I have distinct memories of the 90s, but
Let me see.
KB Toys
Let's take a gander here.
ceased operations 2009.
Yeah, about 10 years ago. I thought so. No, they were around not that long ago. I mean, well, 11 years.
I remember going there in the 90s, early 2000s. I guess I wasn't buying toys when I'm like 15,
No,
16.
I didn't bother. Because our friends Pete worked there, who's going to be on this podcast once again.
Did he really? I never knew Pete worked at KB Toys.
And Danny Zuna, they all worked there in the mall. Yeah. They were stealing toys, by the way. In fact,
I remember me and Gary worked at Toys R Us.
they worked there in 05. I worked at Toys R Us. I worked at Toys R Us in 07. And so
did you go with Gary and me to the interview? I went with Gary.
Maybe. When did you
Highland
go?
Plaza we went.
I worked at Richmond. No.
And we had to make a Lego thing in the interview.
Yes, we did that.
And I did
teamwork with fucking
I
stupid
did
Lego
Jeffrey
thing.
in an electric chair, and then they didn't hire me.
You told me about that.
And then Gary made like a Triceratops bullshit, and they're like, "You're hired."
They're hired. That's smart.
And then I think he quit. Like he worked there for like
I worked
3
there
months.
for the seasonal. Yeah, I worked there just for seasonal. That was lousy. Although I had some fun times, but it was because I would fuck with a lot of the workers and like just mess around with shit. But when they worked at KB, they worked there in 05 because they worked there right
It's probably
around.
one me and Gary went on the Toys R Us interview.
Or they worked there in 06 because what they did was they
I think 05 is when me and Gary went.
I worked there in 07. They jacked a master box of Revenge of the Sith toys, and then what happened was they left it at this other kid's house, and then the other kid's father knew what they were doing, like and he like gave it away to like Goodwill, and they were mad pissed. Imagine like a master box of like Star Wars
Like
figures.
the set, like the display.
No, the like cardboard box that you're like of like 12 or 16 figures that are supposed to be.
Yeah, so it's like the display in the store.
It's not the display. It's just like the shipping box that they're shipped in. Like,
so there was figures in it.
yeah, it was a cardboard box that says Kenner on it or Hasbro, and then it had like 16 figures in it, just like they, like where you would take the figures out of and put them like from shipment. They stole it from like the back of the store from and smuggled it out. Not to be airing laundry of 15 years ago, but. And can believe it now, Revenge of the Sith is now 15 years old. It's the 15th anniversary. We're gonna have to do a commentary for it.
I bought a ton of Phantom Menace. I bought a ton of toys.
I didn't. You know why though? Isn't that weird though? Because I was tremendous into Star Wars toys. The problem was that Pokemon was on top. So I
still bought the figures.
Attention.
And they had a holocron thing.
Yes. I had some, but I didn't have many.
So they give you a microchip.
I know, and they had the little comlink thing.
I wish I still had it.
It was the comlink thing, and they all said stupid things.
Anakin, I bought the comlink thing, which was for that time expensive, like $40.
Yeah, you actually bought the thing.
I got it.
Put the little audio thing on.
And like I had like a shoebox with all the little chips, and it just got lost for time.
It's gone?
I don't know. I was looking for it.
You should rebuy that on
5-10 years ago.
Probably buy that for like $5 on eBay.
5-10 years ago, I was looking for it. I couldn't find it.
It's gone.
But it was with all my Episode 1 figures. I had a good collection.
So they're all gone then.
The whole box just vanished.
What happened with me with my original figures, not to detract off this movie review, was that I had ended up sharing. I had a huge collection, and I ended up sharing the collection with this other kid. And then we had them all at my house. And he's like, "Why don't we all bring them over to my house?" And then of course, I never got them back. And so I had like fucking nightmares of not having my Star Wars toys. So in 04, I had a few bucks from like working or whatever, and I bought a bunch off eBay, sealed still. And then again in summer 2014, I rebought again a bunch because I felt like I still don't have enough Star Wars toys. I feel like me as a big fan
you
should
had
have more.
A second coming with it. I had
a second and third coming. Really,
I never bought figures after my Phantom Menace the last iteration.
I didn't really buy Phantom Menace figures because I was too into Pokemon at the time, and Pokemon devoted all of my like childhood money and energy. So I didn't really
I have gotten back into Magic way more than you have. I still play.
Yeah, you still play Magic actively, which is cool. I mean, I don't feel like I have the time for it. Like in the sense that like I barely have time for this podcast.
It was difficult. It took us 3 weeks to do one.
I know, like we're almost a month. Yeah, like so, like it's unfortunate. Like the creative shit that I want to do. It's like, well, I play. Like it's like I kind of only have time for so much, and like something's got to get cut. Although, like if our friend group decided that they want to like make Magic a thing to
Well,
hang out, then I'll do that because
Steve's big on the arena. He plays it like online, digitally.
I'm just interested in
'Cause he
playing
loves
actual cards. Yeah.
Pay to play.
Oh, he loves pay to play.
And there's a
Our
Magic
good friend
structure.
Steve from episode 1. Has he been on any other episodes?
I don't think so.
You know this podcast is going on 5 years.
So there's an arena structure. He's like, wait, I could pay money to have an advantage.
Oh, he loves that.
And he's like, hook, line,
Yeah,
good.
he loves to pay to play or what's
he
it
was
called?
actually playing this baseball
Microtransaction.
fucking game
In
during the movie.
Dude, no, he was doing it during New Year's when I hung out with him. We can't gripe about him during this podcast, but he was doing
I'm
it.
just saying, he plays. And arena's supposed to be good. I have a new
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
laptop. I might check it out at some point.
Yeah.
But and our friend Flav's the other one. Oh, I only play cockatrice, and it's like
Nobody wants to actually play. Let's like, can we just? Well, we
so
did
they
play
both play, but on different online platforms.
Yeah. I know.
And I'm not a fan of cockatrice. I'd rather play Steve. It's more structured.
No,
it's
yeah.
polished.
I'd rather play in person. Cockatrice, when I was playing it with him, I just would get bored.
I'm going
real
the
quick.
pre-release on the weekend, so you know.
You going Friday or Saturday?
We'll do Friday. I think 5 p.m.
Wow.
It should be a good crowd there. Probably like 30 guys or so.
Sure, but
No, there's never women there. That's a given.
maybe there might be one.
I've never seen one.
I've seen women.
Maybe at like a gigantic tournament in the city, but the local pre-release, you're not seeing any.
Yeah, maybe not.
So let's do a
Keep
Mandalorian recap.
Hold on. We have to finish Rise of Skywalker here, but
running out of time.
Yeah, but all right. Anything else you like in Rise of Skywalker? Do you like the Emperor coming back?
I love the Emperor, but
We love the Emperor. I think that's what they
and
started
it was
with.
kind of cool.
Everyone loves the Emperor.
He's on this like life support machine.
His design looks great.
I thought the design was very good.
Cataracts look great. Everything of the Sith Temple was great. What did you think about all the hundreds of Sith guys?
Where did his tailor come from? Because he got like a velvet robe. That
it's a million questions. I love to
get me my outfits.
Yes,
sir.
So we've pretty much said our piece about what we like about the movie. I think it's entertaining. That's really all I could say. Because you can't say it's like a good, well-made movie. It's very messy, you know. But I enjoyed it pretty much the whole time I was watching.
Say 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
6.5.
And like you said, there's characters that were squandered, like Hux. But you see, Hux was made into a fool in the last movie. That's why they were like, just make him a fucking rat this time around.
But
because
his
like character
a fake
squandered.
Loser, another just build up to nobody.
Well, they made him into a stooge in the Last Jedi.
He's a fink.
So
He's a rat,
J.J. Abrams was
loser.
like, his character's fucked up now because they made him into an idiot.
Like Tarkin was so cool and has a legacy.
Well, they brought the other old guy into this movie to make him more serious because you need some.
Tarkin was I always look at Tarkin.
What is the yes? Well, they made a character similar to him in this movie. What's that character?
Oh, the new guy.
Yeah, the new Imperial guy.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah, but he was good. He was pretty good.
He was better than fucking rat.
Well, they had to bring him in because in the Last Jedi they made Hux into an idiot because they were whipping him around.
Yeah,
he's
he's
getting
like a
slapped
buffoon.
around. He was a buffoon. You know,
Yeah,
like it's like the second you make a noise like that, he's and then I'm listening to Ryan Johnson.
I envision him like sweep slop bucket, clean the Star Destroyer.
Clean up the Star Destroyer. Exactly. Like, you know, like I listened to the commentary. Ryan Johnson's like, oh, I saw a lot of room for humor in Hux, and it's like you like, do you understand what you're doing? Like, you want the threat to be real.
Like when you're watching New Hope and you're in that board meeting, right? You're in that Imperial Council.
It's like a real political meeting.
There's not. You crack a joke, you're gonna get choked to death and die.
It's a real it's a real
cutthroat fucking savages.
It's a real like work.
It's like looking
meeting.
at any war villains. Okay, you watch any war movie.
Yeah, like you wouldn't be.
You'll see like a Nazi.
The
council,
Nazis aren't
right?
bumbling.
They're not cracking jokes.
No,
they're like, all right,
we must annex Poland by the spring at all costs.
That's it.
And that's it. There's not.
They're not joking around.
No, there's not woo, like slipping on a banana peel. No, it's none of that.
Death efficiency.
Yeah,
that's it.
and like that's why like you have like there should be humor in these movies, but the threat needs to be taken seriously. And Hux was supposed to be.
You have to
part
elevate the threat, the menacing threat.
Elevate the threat to make you feel
Not
tension.
Be a buffoon
and that's
moron.
another thing. There isn't really much tension in this movie. Maybe a little, but maybe
you never, for a doubt, thought they were gonna lose.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Did you think Rey would die? Not at all.
You know the rebels were winning.
Yeah, of course.
And there was no obstacle. There was no.
What did you think that every Star Destroyer is now a Death Star? Every Star
and they're
Destroyer has a Death
worthless
Star.
and get
they're
destroyed by
I know.
fucking
I know,
vigilante bullshit ships.
It was very much the end of that movie was very much like in the end of Independence Day, where they're like, we got to shut down the mother transmitter. We got them shooting them around the world. We got them beat. You know, it's just like, and that's schlock. You know, those are the schlock parts of this movie, and there's schlock in it. Not to say that I don't like schlock.
It was rushed.
It can be entertaining.
It was Plot points
So let's
everywhere.
quickly talk about my bad points here, which I have a whole list of. Okay, so despite not completing her training, Leia can train Rey in the Force. This is more a question about Leia. What do you think about that?
I think she should have died when she got admitted in space.
Do you think that her maybe training Leia is ham-fisted?
think
Because they didn't really set that up
Leia
earlier.
They never went into her Force abilities.
At least in this movies. In the EU they did. In the original books and stuff they did. But they didn't do that in these movies. So
unnecessary, didn't like it.
Okay. Did you like her flashback scene where like Luke's training with her?
That I liked.
I like that too.
I think that's
another positive.
old lore you didn't really know about.
Sure, this is really the shit that we wanted more of, but you couldn't do it.
That was the only positive Leia in the new movies was the flashback, I think.
Probably, right? What did you think about all of her scenes entirety? The fact that she's passed away and that they kind of had to cut them together, like honestly.
I mean, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher, but I think the character should have retired in the last movie.
Yeah, I probably agree with that. Okay, we'll go on to the next one. No explanation for Emperor surviving Death Star explosion and returning.
So they wrote a whole thing, and during edits they cut it out.
You think that is that what they did? They
have
an actual plan of how the Emperor...
They had a structured story of his survival, and
well, if I didn't hear any of that. Well, if that's true, that's a horse of a different color. I wonder if they're going to show that.
They didn't make edits or counts.
Because that's a really big thing. People find that to be the biggest plot hole of this movie.
So it did exist in some capacity.
They just whip it out in the title crawl. The dead speaks. The Emperor's back, and he's telling everybody.
They literally hot knife and butter just cut it off.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, we'll go on to the next point because there's really not much that we could talk about that. But that honestly, I guess you can't make the movie 3.5 hours, but kind of a big.
You made The Irishman 3 hours.
Ain't that the true 4 hours?
I finally finished it.
Oh, you did. We got next episode. We're talking all about The Irishman.
Finished it, and I actually liked it.
Oh, I loved it. We can continue about The Irishman next time. Next time we're talking about The Irishman, 1917. Honestly, if we had enough time, I'd cut another episode into this, but we really don't have that much time. Okay, next one. No explanation how Emperor created secret Snoke cloning facility.
3 negatives. Who the fuck is Snoke? Why is he a clone? What is his purpose?
Why did the Emperor need him? Why didn't the Emperor just use Snoke to... Why did he need to tell Kylo Ren, I give you everything?
Has the award of being the most pathetic, terrible character in the Star Wars universe.
Or at least the most anticlimactic.
No purpose.
Or useless.
Just question marks all around him.
Yeah, just no backstory, no front story.
He's just
he's supposed to be... He's in there, very important. No, he's not.
And if you're cloning a Sith Lord, right?
Yeah.
Don't you want to have a...
Yeah, why would you make him his face all cut up?
You want a fit warrior
sickly,
Sith Lord?
Yeah, I mean,
not some mangled old man that looks like he is fucking gangrene.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
I would assume that in this story, I'm assuming
you want a jacked warrior Sith Lord.
Yeah, somebody badass.
Not like Mr. Burns fucking with leprosy on his face.
I would assume that JJ had different plans for where Snoke was and where he was going.
Snoke was a complete failure.
Yeah. Well, that's
in conception.
That goes back to the whiteboard that they didn't have a plan of where all these characters. All right, Snoke is here and he goes here. Not Snoke is here, gets killed off here, goes over here.
Snoke
he's gonna be cloned over there.
Fucking sucked.
Doesn't make any sense. You needed a full whiteboard to have the outline, not this hodgepodge of nonsense back and forth.
Epic failure,
Snoke. Different visions of where it started and where it was going to end.
Disaster.
And that was a real fuck up. That's the Kathleen Kennedy and Disney mistake.
She's a fuck up piece of shit too.
Next, no explanation for how Emperor had a family and with whom. What do you think?
As like I said, who is the Emperor having sex with?
Right.
And who says no to the Emperor? No one.
No one. Well, I would assume.
So I guess who's the Emperor raping is the question.
Yeah. Who's gonna be who's in the brothel tonight?
Who's his cohort for the evening?
I think we're gonna have to go with it's that bald character, but I mean they don't go into it. But also, is that woman an alien? Because that means Rey's part alien. Rey's 25% alien.
You think he fucked Queen Amidala? Because she was looking good in the boo.
Your Majesty, be realistic. Come to my bedroom chambers.
The gods are like, princess, move along.
She never talks about it too. She repressed memory.
Maybe that's why she likes Sith guys.
Well, that would make Rey a bit of a Skywalker, right? If that was the case.
She got raped by the Emperor. Then Anakin.
I like the story plot.
Anakin was a brooding asshole, had Sith abilities, so she had a thing for asshole Sith guys.
This is totally a possibility. We're gonna have to be. We'll make a.
See, now we're right. Now we're
Is
cooking.
Rey's grandma Amidala?
This is a Jerry Springer of the Star Wars.
And here comes the Emperor. beep beep.
We have rape. We have bad fathers.
Force lightning. Yeah, it's just
Villains. It's a whole, now people are gonna like Star Wars.
This is beautiful. This is fantastic. Okay, next. No explanation for how the Emperor had the manpower and resources to create a fleet of planet-destroying Star Destroyers.
Well, they don't explain the New Republic's fucking resources either.
No, but you do consider that, like, after the Empire dying, that, like, the New Republic would... I feel
Where
like
did
that
all the
maybe
money go from Coruscant? That's what I want.
That's a good question.
Where did the money go?
That's why I feel like maybe there should have been a little more deeper writing, but they didn't want to make these movies deep. They didn't want to go into taxation, trade, and banking. The banking clan will sign your treaty.
If you look at the
They wanted to make
Mandalorian,
it simple like the original. So
you look at the Mandalorian
like,
credits.
let's question this shit.
Credits are hard to come by.
Yeah,
people are
Beskar
desperate.
Steel,
People are poor.
Yeah.
And then,
but let's face
40
it,
years later, there's credits everywhere.
Yes.
Ships being built.
Yeah, billions and trillions and trillions
Seems like
of dollars.
a lot of fucking inflation. This is space inflation.
I mean, like, even a line of, like, the Galactic Bank. Like, honestly, something like that I think would have maybe alleviated, maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to say.
No explanation.
But also,
resources,
the Mandalorian's also
more questions.
The Mandalorian's catering to fucking us, though. You know, it's not catering to 7 and 8 year olds. So there's a difference there. The internet loves it, but the internet's not full of little kids. You know, the internet's full of us. It's full of adults.
Well, it has the Baby Yoda to appease the 7, 8 year olds, but they're not into the story.
Yeah, I feel, but if it's appeasing everyone, and there's nobody that hates Baby Yoda though, even adults. Which that was a gamble on them. Like, adults could have.
Continue with the gripe list.
Next. Is what do we got here? Jedi Force Heal, calling into question why this ability wasn't used to save countless characters in the other films.
Again,
you got anything? You got anything, Sean?
Force new ability never explored.
Do you feel?
You think Luke would have discussed it or used it at one point or another?
He could have used it to save Vader or
Yoda. XYZ.
I would assume the logic is that if they're straight up dying, you need to, like, sacrifice yourself. Like, the other ones kind of just had wounds. I mean, well, Kylo was stabbed in the stomach, but just, you know, kind of.
You're implementing abilities that were never discussed and overlooked.
Yeah, it also I didn't like the Force Heal. It was alright. It was executed fine, but when you think about it deeper, it's like, yo, it kind of kills the idea of, like, and that's what this movie really did. It undid, like, the finality of death for characters. Not to say that, like, Force Ghosts weren't in these movies from the get-go. They were, but, like, now you're just whipping people back. Like, back in the olden days, if somebody got stabbed, that means they're fucking dead. You know, or even in the prequels for that matter. If Qui-Gon got stabbed, he was dead.
Correct.
You know, there was no bringing him back. I'm sure if Obi-Wan knew that ability, he would have used it to save Qui-Gon. Yeah.
Qui-Gon's a perfect example.
Well, it's a great example. You know, he got stabbed in the stomach. And
you don't think Anakin would have saved Amidala too? Like, oh, she's sick.
Right. She appears in your anger. You killed her.
So if you think about it, right? The Emperor.
Although Anakin wasn't, like, near her when he heard she died. You know, he choked her out. She passed out, and then she lost the will.
And the Jedis are all about culture, tradition, history.
You think this would have been in the
I don't think this. Or
maybe she read it in the Jedi text.
It's not a new fucking ability.
No, that she read that shit in the Jedi text that she was scrolling through in this movie.
It could have been cooler if it was used properly.
I think it was cool, and the execution of it did look good, like the look of it, and it didn't.
It just
bother
doesn't
me,
match up in lore. It doesn't match up in lore.
It brings up great questions every time somebody gets stabbed with a lightsaber. Why don't you just heal them? You know, back in the somebody got stabbed before. Oh, that's it. Unless you get a robot hand or something.
Doesn't match up in lore.
Yeah, so there's a problem there. Jedi can send themselves or objects through the Force. What do you think about that?
Confusing, didn't like it.
No, I think light things like they set up in The Last Jedi,
back and forth.
A little too much of that back and forth. I think it was cool, but it's just a little too much of it. And then I liked what they did in The Last Jedi, where he had water on his glove through the Force. That was fine. That far is fine.
Breaking furniture and shit.
Yeah,
like
it's a bit too far. So that's what I'm saying. Then it's like, well, what are they even meeting up with each other? Yeah. Just fight through the Force, you know?
It was too much.
Like, just a little hint of it is good. Like the raindrops, you know, to know that she was in the water.
Yeah.
Or even grabbing. I would even accept
something like Lord of the Rings of Sauron, where they have like the orbs and you kind of see, but that's it.
Right.
But not literally
now you're
physically
just
breaking vases.
Going,
like,
yeah,
stupid.
Yeah. It's a bit too much. I think they went
They overstretched
They
it.
overstretched it a little too much.
Cool in premise.
Yes.
Execution
a
overboard.
little overboard, definitely.
Yes.
I think the extent that I would have liked it was his grabbing of the thing. And then,
Well, like you said, a raindrop.
the raindrops.
Piece of sand,
Yeah.
whatever.
But
that's
not
fine.
the just actually fighting and then
Too much.
breaking the vases
that's-
in real
that's
life.
a next.
Yes, it's the next. Okay. Yeah, that's a no for me. That's a no for me, dog. Okay, next. What do we got here? Rey has love for Kylo, who murdered father and almost murdered mother. What'd you think about? We didn't mention their kiss. What'd you
Stockholm
think about-
syndrome.
Okay.
The kiss was enforced. But
Did you feel it was forced or was it
I think
forced?
Kylo also
Well,
kind of...
Sean, you're making that's a bit of a pun here. Was it forced, or did they use the force? Well, I mean, they had a forced connection, so we're gonna go with
think
that.
he developed like an appreciation for as
Sure.
the movies developed.
I think the fact that they kissed, you should have meant it maybe in the last movie. Maybe just went forward with that they had
Full
a romance.
penetration.
A kiss is just as good as full penetration with Star Wars movies, but like maybe they should have just went further with the romance.
I think they could have explored it more.
Explore the romance more. You waited till the last minute for them to kiss. There was no.
I feel like they were trying to see like Finn or Poe, and
yeah,
then they just didn't.
definitely with Finn, because at one point he's like, "I've always." What were you gonna say? You didn't see that part of the movie?
Yeah.
He was probably gonna tell her I was gonna say something else. It's like
I'm
come
glad they
on.
went that they didn't go that route.
Yeah, Sean didn't like that route. Okay, next question. Palpatine. Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter.
Again, who, what, where? Why are on Jakku? And they show a scene on Jakku with that ship leaving.
Yeah.
Never came back to that.
Yeah. No. Well, that was I guess Palpatine's son leaving her off there. The question is that
Purpose, reason, not rationale.
Who was he? Why? I mean, he says they were weak, and it's like, okay, so that implies that he didn't have force power.
But what
and he
commission
didn't wanna-
is telling them to do this?
Maybe we'll go with themselves hiding Rey from Palpatine. I don't know. Even though Palpatine's supposed to
Again,
have
they
technically
overlooked
dead
that
by
whole
now.
scene and didn't explain it.
Yeah, that's. I mean, in the reality of it's because Rian Johnson went a different direction and didn't go the way that.
And they probably
JJ
were
went.
like, "Fuck, we forgot. Too late. Bye."
Also that Jedi Master Sifo Dyas, you'll never hear about him again. Okay, next. Palpatine living destroys Anakin's character arc. What do you think?
I agree. I think
Does it destroy Anakin's character arc? Because Anakin's supposed to bring balance to the dark side by killing the Emperor.
he was never dead. But where did he go?
But he's supposed to be dead.
How
That's
do
the question here.
But you gotta
does bringing him back
explore
killing the
how.
arc?
You can make a whole movie of him surviving. That'd be fucking cool as shit.
But is he supposed to survive in the story? Does it dilute what Anakin did?
It dilutes Return of the Jedi, yes.
Yeah. Do you really feel it dilutes Return of the Jedi?
I think it
So this is
doesn't
rape-
give
so this is
Vader
rape
his saving grace.
Does this rape your childhood then? But
I wouldn't go to that extent.
see. I only disagree there because
it lessens the impact of Vader.
I disagree there only because I feel like killing the Emperor was incidental. He just needed to save his son, which he did, and that was his arc.
Well, I guess it was about a story of redemption.
And he redeemed himself. So whether the Emperor survives or not has nothing to do with his redemption. So in my feeling, I don't feel like that is as much an issue as people are making it on the internet. It ruins the Return of the Jedi.
ruins the
My childhood's
glorification of-
ruined.
It ruins the glorification of Vader. But I don't diminish.
No, it doesn't diminish
The trilogy.
Yeah, it doesn't diminish the trilogy.
I
'cause
just
he's
think
still,
Vader-
It's redemption, and he does bring balance to the
the end of
Force. and
Vader is
he
not
redeems
as-
him, saves his son.
The impact of the end of Vader is not as relevant. That's.
But
kinda
you know
what
what? When you think about it, though, it's like the Emperor was dying there anyway. So because they were blowing that shit up. So I see. In my opinion, not really. But I guess if you're pissed off and he ruined your childhood,
It's a half and half.
It's a half and half. Okay. Next. Okay. Rey Palpatine winning final battle negates all Skywalker efforts.
Where do you get that from? I think that's just a show-in kind of gripe.
You think so? But
She was gonna win inevitably.
sure. But the fact that she's a Palpatine, and she's the last. You know what I mean?
That's another strong line of Force abilities, enablers. You have the Skywalkers.
But a
and
lot
the
of people are
Palpatines.
complaining that this is now the Palpatine saga because he was the one winning all along.
Well, if you think about it, he's the one who orchestrated everything in all the movies.
Is this the Palpatine saga?
If you think about it, he created the entire everything that happened is in results of his actions.
Oh my god! So it is the Palpatine saga.
Absolutely, he's the most important character.
We're definitively saying here on this is a Retrocade first. This is the Palpatine saga. This is
the most important
that's a little
character in the
disturbing,
Star Wars
though.
universe, without a doubt.
More so
He
than
implemented the
Anakin.
wars, the Republic, everything.
So this is the Palpatine saga. These not 1 through 9. I'm saying all episodes 1 through 9 are the Palpatine saga.
Indirectly, yes.
Oh my holy god. Okay. That's a big problem, though.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, he's implemented every story arc.
So when they
a consequence of his actions.
So they're coming out with a $300 box set, Blu-ray 4K box set for
all 9 movies.
All 1 through 9. It's coming
That's
out.
gonna be a skip of a purchase.
Big sale, a big hard skip on that one. It's gonna be like $300. So, but it says on it the Skywalker saga. It should say the Palpatine saga on it at this point.
You're not gonna sell. Your sales will be down if you do that, though.
Sales are down for this movie. They're barely stretching $1 billion.
Yeah.
Okay, next. All Skywalkers are dead, implying Palpatine won in the end.
Did he though? He died, and there was a bullshit New Republic.
But Rey Palpatine is the last one standing.
Yeah, but she's not. She's not gonna be a brutal. That actually, I thought when she had the red saber, I was like genuinely attracted to her. I was like, wow, villainous Rey.
Villainous Rey was hot. A babe. Yeah, you see, she's like goth Rey.
I love.
They should have did more of that.
Goth Rey.
Goth Rey.
Hottest thing I've seen in the Star Wars universe.
Woo! Hotter than that slave Leia outfit.
But no, I mean, think about it. Rey's Rey.
She ends up taking the Skywalker name. No shocker there. The Rise of Skywalker.
And she's like back in Tatooine.
The Rise of Palpatine.
If she's so powerful and important of a character, why is she living in some sand shithole? That's another question.
She was retiring to full
retire
circle.
in like a nice,
Did you like it?
Cosmopolitan city.
Like some random lady just staying at the homestead. Who are you? What's your
Shut up, you old bag. It's like Seinfeld. They see the person start running.
They're running, yeah.
Shut up, you old bag.
You're not getting my marble rye on this planet. But that very much.
Spaceship's gone.
Yeah, it's getting burned.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Where you want to go is to the Galactic Bank in Mos Eisley. Ask for
Mr. Fleming.
He'll help you. Yeah, but that random lady, she very much was like the old lady from what's it called?
Old bag. Skip.
What it was called? In episode 1, when it's like, my bones are aching. Storm's coming, Annie. Better go home.
Shut up, you bitch.
Shut up, you old bag. Just take her marble rye and run.
Take her space rye and run.
He stole my space rye. All right, next.
Gold.
That's quality. Okay, Rey gets yellow lightsaber. Apparently, that's like
I thought that was very cool. I like that.
The hilt was like her staff that she was holding.
That part I liked.
But there's no explanation. You're cool with that.
I just thought it was cool to see the yellow lightsaber in film because
Yeah.
I encountered yellow lightsabers in video games.
Oh yeah, all the time.
And that was the color I used.
I mean,
I like the
it's
yellow.
about time they put a yellow lightsaber in.
I
got
thought that
purple,
was a plus. I wanted to see colorful sabers.
Fine. Yeah, like you don't need an explanation for how she built that or when she built it. Right?
So, all right, Mace Windu was a purple saber.
Yeah.
They don't explain why.
It's supposed to be an electron lightsaber.
Correct. I was going to say electron. But they don't explain that in the movies.
No, he just got purple.
But I think more lightsaber colors, the better. I like that.
Sure. Agreed. Next question. Rey calls herself a Skywalker in the end.
Sort of like, she wants the title. She's not going to be like, oh, my bloodline.
What's your name, dear? Like, Palpatine. Oh, my lord.
Look at Bill de Blasio. His name's Warren Wilhelm.
Warren Wilhelm de Blasio. Also known as Bill. What's your name, Wilhelm? Bill.
You're going to change your name if it's a villain.
You need a stage name if you're going to sound like
There's no
Wilhelm.
more Himmlers running around.
Wilhelm van... No.
The Himmlers changed their names.
Wilhelm van Himmler. Yeah, no, I know.
That's an easy layup. She wants to be a Skywalker.
So the way that the movie ended, you were okay with that? Full circle.
I don't like the old bag with Space Rye. I didn't like her.
Space Rye we didn't care for. But what about the Space Ghost, Luke and Leia?
It was cool. I think it was a homage to the other Space Ghost.
Yeah, like Return of the Jedi, how it ends.
It was
so I guess I've completely dodged like some of my two favorite scenes in this movie. Thank God that I didn't forget about it. Luke rising and also first of all catching the lightsaber, which is a total fu to Rian Johnson.
I like that.
Oh yeah, he was like, you don't treat a lightsaber Jedi's weapon with such disrespect.
I like
total
slight.
fu to Rian Johnson.
I like slights. I like slights.
Yeah. Slight to Ryan Johnson. Fuck you, Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson, you're a piece of shit.
Fuck you, Ryan Johnson. Yeah, so that was good. But Luke raising the raising his X-wing. What'd you think about that?
Cool. X-wing shouldn't be working at that point.
Why not?
It's rusted, man. It needs
rusted
maintenance.
My ass.
It needs maintenance.
Come on. These are space ships. They're fine.
Relics.
Look
dude.
at the Millennium Falcon. That one's garbage, and it's flying around the planet.
Well, they got a lot of maintenance on it.
Maintenance my ass. It was sitting there for generations. So not
Never
only
sitting
did
there.
not only does that not bother me, I feel like that was one of the most emotional scenes in the movie because he finally rose the
I think
X-Wing.
they should have destroyed the Falcon, probably.
Apparently, that was in a cut scene.
In A New Hope, they should have destroyed it.
Oh,
And the Death Star should have remained triumphant and end the scene.
Sean's losing his fucking marbles. I feel like, him rising the X-wing was like what he couldn't do.
Well, it was cool. Like
Empire Strikes Back. It was a full circle moment. That was the most emotional moment of the movie for me. Now, granted, it had nothing to do with the story.
I actually think I was
fan service.
I actually think I was in the bathroom at that point.
You missed that?
I think.
Oh,
so.
you didn't see that?
I think I was.
Oh, fuck! You missed a fucking good
One
scene.
of my
You better go back
urinations.
and watch that. Sean went to the bathroom like 6 times.
I should tie it up too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that was the most emotional part of the movie for me. You need to go rock and watch this movie. Then.
I might have been in the bathroom. We'll see. I don't remember it. It's like blurry to me.
You would have remembered that for sure. He rate his. So the Luke catching the lightsaber scene, was that?
I don't know if I remember it.
Oh fuck! You must have been in the bathroom, bro. That's one of so you pretty much missed out on Luke in this movie. Oh god, you should watch that on the internet right now.
All right, let's wrap it.
And then all right, next emotional scene, Harrison Ford, Han Solo coming back. What do you think about that?
I feel like I don't remember that either.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't remember.
You didn't see this movie?
I don't remember.
How many times did you go to the bathroom?
I just don't remember Han at all. I don't remember.
Harrison Ford is in this movie.
I feel like he is. It just doesn't resonate with me. I don't.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't remember. I don't remember it.
I'm happy that you said all this shit at the end of the podcast because
I remember
nobody would listen. They would click next. He didn't even see the movie.
Don't remember it,
bro. All right, so you watched their lightsaber battle on the Death Star ruins in the rain, right?
Yes, that was a great scene.
And then she stabs him.
Yes. Oh no, okay. I remember now. The flashbacks with him.
Yeah, Harrison.
Yes, I remember.
He talks to. How the fuck did you forget that? Harrison Ford.
No. I got it.
They just have like a redo of the conversation that they had in The Force Awakens. But
it's coming back.
This time he throws.
You mentioned the raining fight scene.
Sean's fucking memory is fucking shot. But yeah, he's
like,
a
long movie.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
There's a lot of shit, so I kind of
sold you off for drinking money.
But and he throws.
I do like that. I do like that.
They must have called in some serious favors to get Harrison Ford back in this movie.
I do like that Adam Driver
for one day of shooting.
I do like the Adam Driver mask voice. Good.
Sold you off for drinking money.
Yeah, no, I do it all the time.
You actually do it pretty well.
I do. Yo, I have my baby monitor, and like I could talk into it. Yo, it sounds exactly like it when I do it.
Bring it in the next.
For your sake, I suggest you do it.
Yo, it sounds
good. Good night, moon.
Yeah, good.
Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Bring it to me. The droid and what girl?
You know, yeah, I've been having fun with it.
The baby is crying.
Yeah,
the baby is crying because he is weak.
He needs a full diaper.
The supreme leader is wise.
Yeah.
We need a diaper.
We will need baby oil for this mission.
We need to steal more space for him.
We're gonna need space oil for this one.
So we sold it all off for drinking money. I'm gonna put you in a pauper's grave, Sean.
All in all,
finish it off. What direction we going in after this?
With Star Wars,
just Disney Plus. That's it.
They're gonna have to put all their fucking eggs into the Mandalorian right now and do it well.
I think
leave it in the hands that people know, like that people love Star Wars, that care about it, that are not.
I just hope
Hollywood.
It's not like The Force Awakens or Season 1's hot. And then
no,
Season 2 sucks.
No,
and Season 3, no one cares about it.
No, listen, come on. How many shows? Like, think about all like the shows like Game of Thrones that like ramped up.
Game of Thrones is garbage.
At the end. Delete season 7 and you got a fucking great show.
Game of Thrones ever again.
It's so funny because I have friends that like lived for Game of Thrones over the last decade, and one of them was like, makes you think about what I've been doing with my life for the last 10 years. This is why you don't invest your whole fucking life in these things, man.
It's just garbage.
Yeah, what a train wreck. But hey, listen, you go back and watch season 1.
Obi-Wan has a lot of potential.
Obi-Wan's coming in.
Ewan
They're talking about bringing. Did you hear about the news? There's
Thrawn.
No.
There was Thrawn.
There has been Thrawn talks, but there was Jar Jar talks today. Apparently, there's going to be a bearded Jar Jar.
See, this sounds pretty amusing.
This is interesting. Like a
interested, very interested.
Where is that from?
It's a comedian.
Who is
Kevin Nealon.
It's a Kevin Nealon.
It's a great
That's a Kevin
fucking
Nealon.
bit.
I was like,
It's a great bit.
Very interested. Yeah.
Interested Kevin Nealon bit
Yeah,
is
that's-
fucking dynamite.
Kevin Nealon's got good shit.
I saw him live at Rutgers about
Did you?
10 years
He's
ago.
good,
He's
man.
phenomenal.
He's underrated.
very underrated comedian.
He's very underrated. Yeah.
His stand-up
Norm
is ki-
Macdonald's underrated too. When you think about that.
He's very dry. He's different.
Yeah.
Kevin Nealon does a little more like quick
yeah,
quips.
quick zany bullshit.
He's like
yeah.
a zingers, you know.
Yeah, those zingers are fucking
Interested,
funny.
interested.
There's-
Very no interest at all. It's fucking gold.
It's gold. It's fucking gold. Yeah. So, all right, we walked out of the Rise of Skywalker. We enjoyed the movie. Was it a solid close to the 1 through
No.
9? No, I know.
Was it better
Return
than
of
the
the
last?
Jedi.
Was it better than Last Jedi? Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was more entertaining for sure. It was an entertaining movie.
I liked it.
Listen,
Overall, I enjoyed
I look
it.
at it almost like it's better than the movie Independence Day, but Independence Day is an entertaining movie. It's schlock though. You know, there's no characters. This movie has characters at least. It's schlock. You know, there's no characters, but like it's fun to watch. I enjoy watching that movie. I enjoyed watching this movie. I wasn't bored at all. And there was not too many eye-rolling moments, so that's all good. In the end, is it schlock? Yeah, I mean it's schlock.
Too many plot
Too many,
twists.
yeah, too many plot twists, too many
Underdeveloped
cooks. It's
fucking
fucking all over the
angles.
pace. The pace is, man, we're here. The death speaks. The Emperor's been talking
I
to
think
everybody.
Disney realized they fucked up and
Yeah, no, they had to go
tried to
back.
make amends, and
Right.
they did the best they could.
Yeah, they were like, oh shit,
it
the fans don't like this.
It wasn't enough.
JJ, come here. What are we gonna do?
So hopefully
Like,
they
it
learned.
was too late by then. Yeah, it
Too
was
little, too late.
Too little, too
but
late. with
Hopefully
this
they
shit.
learned from their
Yeah,
misgivings.
in the end,
and
it's not the end of the fucking
use the
world.
TV shows to redeem.
It wasn't a horrific abortion, but it wasn't. It was. There's opportunities that were missed. It could have been better.
We'll do a Mandalorian recap on the next episode.
Yeah, we'll do the whole season. We should do. We
and,
don't really have
let's
time
be
for it
let's
now.
let's be optimistic towards the Disney Plus Star Wars.
I'm
future.
definitely optimistic towards Disney Plus. I mean, you know, we very much enjoyed, season 1 of The Mandalorian, and I think season 2 of The Mandalorian will deliver. I mean, you got guys that love it,
explore it.
that understand it.
Everyone
and,
likes the Mandalorian that I've spoken.
There's not a single person out there that's
Everyone likes
legitimately complained about The Mandalorian.
we'll go
People
into-
complain about an episode here or there, but
We'll go
the
into
season
detail,
overall,
but
everyone's enjoyed. So
the
yeah, we're
new
gonna go into
trilogy
detail.
overall had its ups and downs.
Yeah, it's
And
been
overall-
a roller coaster.
Overall, it was average.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not gonna say it was. It's
It didn't
disappointing.
suck. It wasn't great.
Right, exactly.
It had a lot of potential.
well
and it
made.
fizzled.
Right. Well,
and
there's the
and
big,
now and then it's evened out.
that's the biggest disappointment was that there was potential to bring back our beloved characters from the beginning. They couldn't do it for writing purposes. Oh, we couldn't bring Luke in because no one cared about the other characters, so we had to leave him out of Force Awakens. Okay, well now what? So when you bring in, never seeing the three, our main three on screen, I think is the biggest missed opportunity. And in the end, it's really kind of a cautionary tale when doing this shit. Have a fucking outline of where you want to go before you fucking start
you gotta
the show.
have people that are familiar with the material.
Yeah, that's
people
very
that have
important.
a direction to the material.
Yeah.
And you have to have an end game. You
Yeah,
can't just
yeah,
have
those three
open-ended
things.
plot twists.
Passion, competence for the story, and know where
goal,
you're going
a
before
final,
you fucking
an end, you know.
and know where you're going from beginning to end.
Don't
and
zigzag,
and don't fucking
implement
zigzag,
bullshit
and
characters.
Don't gamble, and don't be giving guys with these auteurs. You got 3 different auteurs with 3 different visions. They canceled the final guy, Colin Trevorrow, who did the Jurassic
many
World.
cooks in the
Too many
kitchen.
cooks in the kitchen. You need one vision of the overall arcing thing. You can have different directors, but you need one different vision, and that's what we learned from all this. That's the end of this episode. The Rise of Skywalker. Everybody, that's it for this week. Keep watching the stars.